I asked 10 independent artists what their music was about. Not because they didn't have an answer, but because no one has ever asked them that to get clear and concise on what they're delivering to the people. How are you getting people to actually know who you are? How are you targeting your audience? How are you speaking directly to the actual avatar that you need to speak to sell your music? And the funny thing was, anytime I asked an artist that, they can't even answer the question. They cannot explain who their music is for or how is it trying to connect with people emotionally. And that's the problem. If you can't describe what your music is about in one sentence or in one word, how do you expect your audience to do the same thing? So if you can't be clear on who you're actually speaking to, then how are the avatars are supposed to find you and share your music so other people or other like-minded people can actually discover you? And that's definitely not a talent problem, because you can have all the talent in the world. It's a clarity problem. And in this video, we're going to fix that for you. My name is Taurus the General, and I run a company called Time Served Records, and we created a free program called the ArtistOS system. It is a 10-step system with 13 videos that's going to show you how to take your music business, actually automate it, set your foundation up, and actually build contracts and collabs with other people. It's a whole operating system to show you how to automate your music business. This is the same thing we use in our fire alarm business, and we transfer it over to our music business to show you how to do the same exact thing. So this is the first video out of this video series, and this video is about message clarity. You have to be clear on what you're talking about so you can speak exactly to who you need to talk to. And everything we build on top of this is gonna build off of the message clarity. Your distribution strategy, your brand strategy, and even your content strategy. Everything is gonna evolve around your message. And if your message is not locked in, everything else downstream after that is going to be unclear. You're going to be speaking to no one, contributing to the noise. We're trying to eliminate that. So today I'm going to show you the 5-question framework for you to lock in your message. And later on, I'm going to walk you through how we use it on my man Souls Bishop. This is our first artist under Time Served Records, how we're going to build and distribute his whole content and marketing system. So now let me ask you one question. What is your music about? This is the one question that matters the most. And when artists answer it, they usually answer it wrong. They say something like, my genre of music, my vibe and how I flow to it and whatnot. That's not giving a clear message. You're just naming steps and actions that you take to actually create your music. You're not actually being clear on what your music or who you are as an artist. And none of that answers the question. So here's 3 things that happen when your message is unclear. Number 1, you produce inconsistent content. Every post you create or every post you put up there is a very different version. Your audience never know what to expect. It's a bunch of random posts. There's no strategy. There's nothing behind it to let them know you can take them from A, B, C to D. And number 2, there's no release anchor. You put out a song, but there's no story around how it make people care. What is your song about? How are you explaining it? Who are you connecting it to? Who are you speaking to? You speaking to the streets? You speaking to females? You speaking to men over 50? You speaking to young people? Who are you talking to? And number 3, the word of mouth dies. No one can describe you to someone else. You can't go viral because no one can recommend you. So if you're not speaking directly to the person that you're actually trying to connect to, how are they supposed to share you with their friends and family? First started working with Souls, and I asked him that question. He was like, I'm from the streets. It's real life, real talk, and things like that. And I try to tell him, bro, that's really not getting clear on what you actually speaking about. We live the same similar lives, but you have to get actually clear on what you're talking about. So we had to brainstorm a bunch of ideas until we got his message. So let me break down a 5-question framework me and Souls went through so that way he was able to get clear on his message, on how he could deliver his music when he start writing his verses. The first question is, who is this music for? Who are you writing for? Who is the avatar? I want you to think of it like this. The person that's around you, your friend, your cousin, your brother, whatever, that really mess with you like that, right? So that person that mess with you like that like your music, I want you to describe that person. How old are they? Male or female? Do they have any trauma, any issues that they're going through in their life? Are they in a relationship? Do they have a job? What type of job? Whatever. Who is that music for? You want to build up that avatar, because once you build that avatar, now you know who you're talking to. And the second thing is, how do they feel before they hear your music? Are they in a happy state? You really don't know how another person is feeling, but you want to take all of these particular feelings of how a person can feel. And then when you write your music, how are they going to feel after they hear your music? So what state are you going to put them in after? Are you going to transform them from being sad to happy, or from happy to sad, or ready to go do some violent shit? Whatever it is, I don't know. So how are you making the people feel when you're writing your music? So as you see here in the presentation, question 2 and 3 is how a person is going to feel before and after. So you want to be able to describe that when you're actually writing out your framework on how you're going to deliver your music. And the fourth thing is, what makes you different? What's different about you that I can separate from any other artist that's out there? How are you going to separate yourself? Now, that's a very tough thing to do, but the easiest thing to separate yourself is only your uniqueness, because each and every one of us, no matter if we're doing the same thing, people don't matter if we're all rappers, right? Or all producers or all comedians or whatever. We could all be doing the same exact thing. What people like is the individual doing the thing. And I heard that from Dion Cole. When I heard that, I was like, that's valid, because it doesn't matter what the thing is. They want the people or the person doing the thing. So me and you could be doing the same exact thing, and they could like both of us the same because we are doing the thing in our own way. So just stay true to yourself and you'll always be straight. And the last thing is, if someone heard your music and they were expressing it to someone else, what do you think they would say about your music, right? These are questions that you got to think about. Once you think about these questions, then you could create your framework. Once you create your framework, now your message is now concise and is clear, and everything you do after that, the content, your verses, your songs, everything after that evolves around that message. And time over time, after you compound it, you will build your audience in no time. So when I first started working with Souls, I asked him that question. He was like, bro, it's real life, it's street life and all that good stuff and whatnot. And I'm like, bro, I get it. You know what I mean? I really get it. But that's only really half the story of what you're actually trying to explain. So let's dig a little deeper and figure out how we're going to get this message clear so we can get your music out there to the people who need to hear it. So before we started getting clear on our message, he was like the voice of New York for old New York people who remember when the streets had a soundtrack, like the 90s era, right? So he got that 90s flow, boom, bap, hard, gritty, and the voice is unique, right? So after we had to come up with a better message, and the message was music for men who survived the streets but never was in that position they own, right? So it's about authentic borough identification. We're from the Bronx, so we're going to identify where we're from. The lyrics is always first when we deliver and prioritize our substance over trends. So we ain't trying to follow no trends. We set the trends. We're going to be who we are, so that way we can be authentically ourselves, and then people will gravitate to that, period. And when we actually reach out, we have a collab system to where I show you how to reach out to other people, so that way y'all can connect together, create content together, and also distribute the music, so that way it's on both of y'all platforms, and each one of y'all can actually get credit for the music y'all release together, right? And it's time and tested. So I've done this so many times in a whole different sector of business, but it's the same thing. So if you could set one up and understand the actual infrastructure, how to make money, you could repeat the process in any industry. So now let's dive a little deeper into the 5-question frameworks. First question is, who is this for? This music that you're making is not for everyone. It is for one specific person. That one specific person is the denomination of, let's say it's 9-10 billion people in the world. Imagine 1% is that one specific person, right? You got to start thinking like that. You want to name their age. You want to describe their situation, what they got going on. The more specific you are, the more powerful your music will connect. And you can use AI tools to do this. Definitely Facebook, you can use this. If you have a Facebook business profile page, you can actually get all this analytics from Facebook. But you could also use Claude or ChatGPT to actually build out your own avatar, describe it as best as you can, so that way you can have a clear, concise message delivered back to you. And before you do this, you want to write your answer down before you move on to step 2. The second question is, what do they feel before? What is their emotional state that the music meet them in? Are they angry? Are they feeling numb? Are they exhausted? Are they lonely in the crowd? Your music enters someone's life at a specific emotional moment. That moment precisely is where your message has to begin. Once they hear what reflects to them, their ears perk up, they start to listen, they start to want to research about who you are. And once you do that, you want to make sure you write that information down before you move on to step 3. Now, the third question is, what does your music do after they hear you? How are they feeling after they hear whatever your music is about, whatever that song is about that they just heard? What emotional state are you putting them in? Are you changing them? Are you making them upset? What are you doing to them when you're writing your music? Does it validate them? Does it transform them? Does it give them a language? Do you provide some type of release? Like if they're going through some emotional breakup and you give them whatever they're looking for in your song, what's the gap, right? What's the gap between question 2 and 3? That's the value your music will deliver. And once your gap is closed, your message is clear. The fourth question is, what makes you different? What's the version of you that's different from every artist in your genre? If you're rapping, if you're singing, if you're drilling, whatever it is you're doing, what makes you different from everyone else in that sector? This is not what makes you better, right? Because you're not trying to be better. You're only trying to be better than yourself. You have to be different. Whatever you bring to the table is actually different from someone else, right? I said earlier, people like the person doing the thing. So your lived experience is your actual uniqueness. That's your creative angle. This is what makes your message sounds unique and not copied of someone else. You know what I mean? Because you can't live someone else's life. You have to live your life and the experiences you went through, and that's what you speak about. Now, the fifth question is the one thing, right? If someone heard your music and can only tell one person one thing about it, what do you think they'll say to them? This is your word of mouth sentence, right? This is what drives organic traffic. This is how more and more people can find you because you actually connected to them personally and emotionally. If you cannot answer this, your audience can't answer it either. So you'll stay invisible. You don't want to stay invisible, so get clear on who you're talking to. Now, when you answer all of these questions, this become your formula. Now you can describe who your music is for, how they're going to feel, and what you're going to do to transform them to whatever level that you need to transform them to. You need to be absolutely clear who you're talking to. Now, once you get that down packed, that will be your $1 million message. That will be your one sentence that will drive everything else around your whole entire marketing, content, and your music. Now, I built a free workbook you could download. Link is in the description. You could download the PDF. I want you to block out 1 hour, set aside some focus of some uninterrupted time, something that is not passive, so that way you can actually focus on what it is that you're doing. Run all 5 of the questions, answer each one as thoroughly and honest as you can, and then your message will actually be locked in. You could actually use AI to help you do this. So what is the ArtistOS system? The ArtistOS is a free 10-step program that covers every single required to build your music business, from message clarity to a full release system. 13 videos, all free, all link in the description. And what we're doing here on YouTube is actually explaining it a lot more thoroughly, so that way you can actually understand how to actually do this. And then if you want to work with us, we can work something out. So here's the ArtistOS full program. Step 1 is your message clarity. That's this video. Step 2 is how we're going to learn how to target your audience, build out your profile, and your brand pillars. Steps 3 to 10 is all about distribution, content strategy, your release system, and a whole lot more. Every step builds on the one before it, but message clarity is the foundation. That's why this comes first. So we have 2 options for you. We have the done for you option, which is 100% free. You get all the modules, all the frameworks, every workbook is self-paced, free for life. You don't have to rush it to get through it. You take your time, get all the paperwork, download it, go through all the cheat sheets, go through all the workbooks. There's also a spreadsheet in there to help you organize your finances. It's a plethora of information in there to help you out, right? Then there's the done for you service, where we take care of everything for you. If you have a business or if you don't have a business, we'll set you all the way up from start to finish, build out your marketing, build out your websites, your funnels, your email campaigns, your forms, your text messages, everything you need to automate your business and actually grow in this industry. So what's coming in video number 2? Next week, we're going to talk about the target audience and how we're going to form our 4 brand pillars. We take the message that we locked in today and build out our audience and brand identity around it. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. So the link is in the description so you can download this PDF, this cheat sheet, so you can start getting clear on your message today. So a quick little recap: the clarity problem, the root issue. Most artists cannot say what their music is for in one sentence. Not because you lack the talent, because you've never been asked to do so. The consequence: no clear message means no word of mouth, no consistent content, and no one will ever know who you are, and you don't have a strategy to release your music. The fix: with this one session and 5 questions, you can get one sentence. That'll be your $1 million message that you will create everything around. So here's your action steps. I want you to download the $1 million message, block out an hour, one focus session with no distractions, go through all 5 of the questions so you can get clear on what your actual message is. And once you lock lock that in, start creating content. So all the free resources are the link in the description. You get your $1 Million Message workbook. It's a free PDF. It's a link to the ArtistOS system. All 10 steps, all 13 videos is free. And you get a done for you service if you want me to help you get this to the next level. So understand your message is the foundation and everything else is built right on top of it. So make sure you download the $1 Million Message Blueprint. I'm Taurus the General, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.